Um, ever wonder what happens after the credits roll on a seemingly perfect ending? Um, Sometimes the story isn't quite over. Uh, for fans of Yellowstone, that's proving to be true with the upcoming series Y Marshals. Um, the show centers around Kayce Dutton, a character who, after seasons of turmoil, finally found peace. But will this new chapter honor that hard-won happiness or unravel it? After the prequel series, 1883 and 1923 explored the Dutton family's origins, why Marshals promises to continue the saga. The series will follow Kayce, once a Navy SEAL and rancher, as he joins a specialized team of USC Moccacy, Marshals tasked with protecting Montana. It's an exciting premise, but one that feels off Tobion. That's why they seem many accepting kind of Clearwidge that several familiar faces from Yellowstone are expected to return, including Thomas Rainwater and Mohawk. However, one key character
Is conspicuously absent. Monica.
For viewers, Kayce and Monica's arc was a beacon of hope. When they traded wealth for a simple life, a life of peace and family, their story concluded beautifully. In the 90-minute Yellowstone finale, Kayce brokered a deal with Rainwater, selling most of the ranch back to the reservation for a symbolic $1.25 an acre. It was a poignant moment, a surrender of legacy for a promise of tranquility. Kayce and Monica kept the East Camp a place to begin again, and they purchased cattle, starting a smaller ranch operation. They were free, finally. Kayce breathed a sigh of relief. But Monica reminded him he always had been. It was a perfect ending, a resolution to years of violence and stress. But Marshals threatens to dismantle that slice of heaven. And the trailer for the new series paints a bleak picture. Kayce appears distressed, burdened by an emotional turmoil. While he seems focused, it's a far cry from the peaceful man we saw ride off into the sunset. The presence of his son, Tate, offers a glimmer of hope, but it's overshadowed by a sense of foreboding. Kayce speaks of skeletons and the need for a fresh start. But after finding contentment, why another fresh start? The trailer relies heavily on visuals, conveying a sense of unease and disruption. Everything feels different, and the question lingers, why? 1883 and 1923 enriched the Dutton family's history. Marshals, however, feels more like a cash grab. While fans enjoyed Kayce's journey, I think few demanded a continuation. After 5 years of a compelling love story, Kayce and Monica deserve to remain free. A standalone show separate from the Yellowstone franchise would have been a better approach. Kayce's skills as a SEAL are undeniable, but his family is his priority. Seeing him abandon that for a dangerous profession feels wrong. Is another law enforcement show even necessary? Sheridan already gifted us with Lawman Bass Reeves a story about a legendary marshal, and Marshals feels redundant. But interestingly, Bass Reeves began as a Yellowstone spinoff before becoming independent. Perhaps that same decision should have been made here. Lou Grimes was reportedly unaware of a potential spinoff until after Yellowstone season 5 wrapped. He was understandably hesitant, believing his character's arc had reached a natural conclusion. He ultimately agreed. But
the question remains, was it the right decision?
Kelsey Asbiel's involvement remains unclear. There have been no reports of her joining other major productions. Perhaps talks with Sheridan and Paramount fell through, or maybe she too felt that Monica's story had reached its satisfying end. Two explanations seem likely for Monica's absence: divorce or death. So, meaning that neither scenario feels convincing. It's a heartbroken Monica leaving Kayce after he chooses a dangerous life. It's a tired trope, or worse, repeating the tragic loss of John Dutton in Yellowstone. Feels uninspired that Sheridan could always find a way to bring Monica back should fans demand it. Recasting or a late season return could appease viewers. And he's proven that his ability to course correct before, as seen with the dramatic improvement of Lioness in its second season, as unnecessary as why Marshals maybe it could be a better show with both Kayce and Monica. Kayce can shoot all the bad guys he wants, but fans want to see him as a loving husband and father. And still, we should remain optimistic and open to surprises as much as. So, what do you think? Marshals honor Kayce's hard-won peace, or will it unravel the Duttons' promise of a happy ending? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.